Welcome to my Stitch With Me. Hopefully you can see where I'm stitching. I'll just move my phone. I have got a different setup this week. As you can see, I am stitching on my Dark Queen of Earth. I finally decided what way I was going to stitch it. Whether I was going to stitch the what skin version I was going to do. So most of it has come out now and I have decided on each part, so I now need to catch up. So I did 1,007 stitches on it yesterday. So since I last talked to you, I will call this a catch up with me and coffee. So I hope you've grabbed a drink of your choice. I did have coffee, but I've actually just finished it. So I can't say coffee with me because I don't have it anymore. So it's been an eventful week. I had my wisdom tooth out. I had a few issues getting it out, but it did come out. And I was going to say it hasn't been an issue. I had no issues with it until last night. Last night it was a wee bit problematic. I sneezed last night and it started bleeding again, so I had to get the gauze again and put it in my mouth to put pressure on it to stop it bleeding. So it hasn't been sore, so I've been lucky there. Meant to take pain medication every 4 hours, but to be honest, I haven't been doing that because I haven't been sore with it, so I can't complain about that. So Brendan dislocated his shoulder on Friday night, so David had another trip to the emergency with him and took quite a few hours for them to get his shoulder back in. The emergency doctor couldn't get it back in, and it was change of shift, and it was another emergency doctor that was able to do it, so he was lucky there. They find it quite frustrating that it hasn't been fixed by surgery. He went and seen his neurologist earlier in the week, and he's already sent a letter to orthopedics to say that he's never going to be seizure free for a year like they want for them to do the surgery, so that's not going to happen. So they just need to get in and do the surgery. But unfortunately, even though his neurologist is the head of the neurology department, I don't think that has any sway on the orthopedic department, which is frustrating. I think it does come down to money too, but I might be wrong. I could definitely be wrong. So in my last video I was saying that the reason that I prefer stitching on even weave is because I find the holes bigger. This is Ada and I have no issues on that, but I think it's the difference between full coverage versus non-full coverage, and heavy, what am I trying to say? Confetti compared to I'm trying to find out where this next stitch is. That's what I'm thinking as well. Heavy confetti as well with full coverage. I just find even weave a wee bit easier. I think it's on the 18 count I want to do 2 threads, but on Ada I found it too hard on my hand, 2 threads for full cross. I think that's what my issue was. Look, I've finally found where I need to be next. So where was I? I was way over here somewhere. Yeah, way over there. So I'm going to pause it and darn. Right, I worked out where I needed to be, I think. Because it shows up on Pattern Keeper that it's full stitches, but it's not. So I do find it a little bit harder. Look, I was nearly out of thread anyway, so why did I darn in? Oh dear. So I'm pleased that I'm getting back to this piece. Dave was meant to go away to the stock sale today, but he didn't go because the freezing works, or the meat works, whatever you call it in your country, is they're all closed down south, so none of the stock trucks are running. So if he went to the sale, he couldn't get any stock back, so he's just had stock go away as well, so that was a bit of a issue getting stock to go away. I had a appointment with a specialist in Dunedin, the eye specialist, but I cancelled the appointment yesterday because Brendan was vomiting after going to the hospital. He's picked up some nasty bug. He had hiccups for 3 days, so he rang up the doctors yesterday to say that he had hiccups and it wouldn't stop. And he got into the doctor about 15 minutes later. So I think they were concerned because of his seizures and with him vomiting because he couldn't keep food down because he kept hiccuping, that they were concerned with not keeping his medication down either, that he would have another seizure and dislocate his shoulder again because he's just done it. So they got him in very quickly and gave him medication for to stop his hiccups, and within an hour the medication worked, so he was able to take his medication last night and eat, so that was nice. But he's got no voice as of today, so I'm getting a wee bit of a touch of it. I've got a bit of a cough, and I'm a wee bit croaky as well, so I'm using headphones today with a microphone, so hopefully you can hear this all right. As I say, I'm a wee bit croaky. I feel fine. I'm still on antibiotics since they removed my tooth that was infected. I knew that. Like I say, sneezing after they removed it wasn't so good. But that's the first time I'd actually really had an issue since they took the tooth out. So these are these huge, I don't know if you can see, these are these huge thread drops that I used as well for this. How did I pull that off? Ah, my ring has come undone, so all my thread drops are going to fall off. Oh dear, that's what I hate about these rings. I will put that on my lap and do it after, I think. I was frustrated last night. I was thinking, why can't I find this colour? Because I thought I had kitted it all up in the beginning. Of course, I hadn't kitted it up for brown skin and I couldn't find this thread. I went through all my DMC and I didn't have it. And I'm going, why don't I have it? And I hunted and hunted. I actually pulled a thread from I just pulled one 6th strand from a kit. It's actually the Spirit of Autumn, that kit. It was 842. So it won't matter because I'm only using 3 threads half cross. So excuse me, I did a thing the other day. I bought the Autumnlane mystery Halloween box, so that will be interesting to see what I actually get in that, as it's a mystery. I had a few bad days and I thought, oh look, I'm just going to buy it. It'll be the one and only mystery box I ever buy, because I got that Chromatic Alchemy Advent box and I don't think I'll ever do that again, because for the simple reason I absolutely loved it, but I still haven't used all that fabric from then, and I've got that much fabric, but I do like Autumnlane patterns and I've still got quite a few to do, but it'd be quite nice to do them. So I thought, I really like Halloween. I think that's probably one theme that I like. We don't really have Halloween here. I actually need to get back to my Halloween Afghan. I haven't done that for a couple of weeks. Well, it was Sunday here yesterday, and I should... Was it yesterday? Is it? No, it's Tuesday today. Okay, it was Sunday here a couple of days ago, and I didn't do God's Shed again. What did I work on Sunday? I worked on my this is one thing I hate, is that I've got to count more. I worked on my mini butterfly effect on Sunday. I was really happy. I'm actually at 32% now. So I thought, if I work on that one day a week, I'm definitely going to get that finished by the end of the year. So I need to work on my God's Shed of Grace just as much, but I keep forgetting it's Sunday. So I had my brother come and stay for a couple of days in the weekend, so that was fantastic to see him. It's been a while since I have seen him, and quite a few people have asked me if he lives in New Zealand, and yes he does. He actually lives where we used to live before we moved here, so he's north of us, so about I don't know, 4.5 hours away. And it used to be that we would go that area because that's where my family is and Dave's family is in that area. So we used to go there yearly, so we would catch up every year. But since the pandemic, we haven't gone, and it has just been the last few years. It's just been Dave's that's been going because I haven't actually travelled that much in the last few years with not being well. I found a new thing. When I fall over and I'm holding my phone thinks I've been in an accident and wants to ring emergency. And if you just have a small trip and your phone shakes in your hand and you save yourself, it thinks that you have been abused and it asks if you need help. And do you need the abuse line? I'm pretty sure that's what it said on my phone. And I had to quickly say no. Oh dear, because my phone was obviously shaking in my hand. So these new things, technology, and I don't know how to turn them off. So Dave has been watching on YouTube how to prune our fruit trees because he moved them from where they were because they were next to our water tanks, and we thought that was a really good area because they would be able to get water. But in reality, it was near a really big macrocarpa tree and they weren't getting as much nutrients as they should. So since it's winter here, we decided it was a really good idea to move them near the house. And because where he's put them is a runoff from the house, there is a drain. The runoff from the house goes down the hill, so he's put the trees there so they should get lots of water, and we can actually water them from the tank that we will store water from the sheds over winter, so we can water them over summer. He's been watching these YouTube videos on how to prune them. Since he's moved them, they need a good prune as well. They've been here about 5 or 6 years and we haven't pruned them since we got them. So we have, I don't know, 2 or 3 pear trees, a few plum trees, a couple of apple trees, maybe 3 apple trees. I've bought another plum tree and a couple more apple trees. They haven't invoiced me yet, but I have ordered them. So just in case they die. We've got a couple of grapevines near the house as well. We're looking at buying a tunnel house, but I don't think we'll do it for this year. I think we might get it for next year. I think we're just running out of time for this year. I think we'll just put tomatoes and pots on our veranda for this year in the spring. Dave has started to level some of the dirt around the house, and he bought a garden hoe or garden tractor. I'm not sure what else you call it, rotary hoe, to start organising the, he sprayed out the grass to put in a garden. We're definitely wanting to get a wee bit more self-sufficient. We have our cattle beast getting look, I'm going to say it how it is. It's going to be shot on Thursday for the freezer, so it'll go to the butchers and get hung up on Thursday. I think they hang them for a couple of days. So as we've run out of meat, so that'll be good to have that all sorted out. I was talking to Dave about the fact that he should do story time with me, and I said we could do one of those quizzes about some of the cross-stitch acronyms and that sort of thing. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, I don't know, some of the things that we call the shortened names that we have for cross-stitch stuff. And he goes, and I can't think of any at the moment. Isn't that funny? My mind's gone completely blank. Like oughts and things like that. And he goes, oh no, I'll be absolutely terrible at that. And I said, oh, but I'm sure I say about some of them. And he goes, no, I won't remember them. He wasn't keen for that at all. So I said, but you could talk about some of your farm things. And he goes, no, you tell things so much funnier than I do. And I said, but you're the one that says about the story time and the show and tell. And he goes, yeah, but I only tell you. I don't tell anybody else. And I'm going, okay. So I don't think he wants to be in front of the camera at all. But I must admit, when I started doing Flosstube, I found it really, really hard. And even sometimes now, I find it quite hard. So I wouldn't make him do that. So yeah, look at that. I'm finding this pattern quite hard as far as knowing where everything actually goes, because I didn't download, and I thought I had download the PDF as well as the Pack and Keeper version. I was sure I had, but obviously I didn't, which is quite frustrating. Good, we're not there. Okay, this is going to be interesting. How do I find this colour when they're all loose? Maybe it's still sitting on my lap. Oop. That's it. Is it still in focus? Yep, maybe. So I don't know how this one will go. Come on, pull. So I've decided I want to do the orbs on this version because I really like the light orbs. So I had to talk to my brother about the blackberries that we used to pick as kids. I was saying that I don't ever remember the blackberries having thorns. And he's going, yes, they definitely had thorns. And I'm going, really? We came to the conclusion I must have just picked the easy ones because I don't remember ever having thorns. But then again, I don't remember with my last wisdom tooth it hurting either. I just remember that it just popped out, my wisdom tooth, even when they pulled them out. And I got 2 out the last time. I've only got 1 left. So this one did not just pop out. He had a heck of a job getting it out. It feels like the tooth next to my wisdom tooth is quite loose, so I assume it's until the gum tightens up a little bit more that it's going to feel as if it's a wee bit loose. Look, I'm 69% of this part. I don't even know what part it is. So she's still headless. So I think I'm doing the alternate face. It's the one with, she's got like elf ears. That's the one that I have decided on. But I'm not quite sure which one it is. I have to have a look when I don't think I've loaded it in Pattern Keeper yet. That's one thing I find quite hard. But I'm really happy with getting a wee bit more stitching in. I don't expect every day to get as much as I got in yesterday. Dave was quite busy moving a lot of stock yesterday, so he wasn't inside as much. But I've come to the conclusion I just want to spend more time with him. So I had a bit of a spend up the other day. After I got my wisdom tooth out, I was feeling sorry for myself, so I bought that mystery box, and I also bought some 18 count Devosa from Stitch NZ. So I want to start that magical arrival again. I'm going to do it 2 over 1, and also bought a piece of 18 count linen, and I want to do a piece of 2 over 1 full cross on that as well, full coverage, and I will test it first and see, because I know that the threads will be different. So the reason why I want to do even weave instead of Ada is that, see, this feels fine. It's a 16 count, but I find I find this easy at the beginning of the day, stitching on it. I find it easy to see, but later in the day I find it harder to see, and it's 16 count, which is really silly because the stitches are so big. But the 18 count I find easy to see, but I find it really hard on my hand. 18 count aider to get the 2 threads through the hole. I know that sounds silly, but 1 thread full cross, I don't find the coverage good enough. I feel really fussy. Don't know if everybody else feels that way, but that's how I feel. I love the look of 25 count 1/1 full cross. I can't do it unless I use the magnifier, and I don't want to use the magnifier for everything. And I know that I'm going to have to buy more floss for some of my projects, and I might have issues with it because they're kits with dye lot issues and things like that. But I'm just going to mix. I'm going to have to buy some locally, and I'll just have to mix the threads up. But that magical arrival I want to start at the moment because it's Christmas in July. So I don't know. I need a few projects that I can just keep working on that are easy on my eyes, because I don't think my eyesight's going to get better. I drove yesterday, so I drove Brendan to the doctor's, and then I went to the supermarket while he was at the doctor's, and he was there quite a while, and I decided, oh look, I didn't bring anything with me, and I was just sitting in the car and waiting, and in the end I decided, look, we're only 5 minutes away. I decided to go home. I got home, I checked the mail on my way home. I just opened a package, and then he told me he was done. Dave told me he would pick him back up, and he said he only had one more job on the farm. So I thought, oh well, that's cool, I'll go back to stitching. But he wasn't back, so I went and picked Brendan back up from the chemist and came home. And I arrived home, and Dave just came and he goes, I said, I thought you said you were going to pick him up. And he goes, but, and he goes, but you weren't here. And I said, oh, you told me you only had one more job. And I said, you weren't here, so I had to go back. And he goes, yeah, I did only have one more job. And I said, yeah, but you must have done jobs after that. And he goes, yeah, maybe. I had to laugh. So I made him go back and get his prescription. It's really funny. Yes, when you drive into town and back, it seems to take only a few minutes, but when you wait for somebody else to do it, it takes forever. So Brendan was very happy for him to finally get back with his prescription, because he was able to finally eat and keep it down. Dave has been drinking whiskey at night, and last night he didn't, and he snored something terrible, so he definitely has to drink his shot of whiskey tonight, because it obviously makes a difference. He doesn't snore when he has his one shot, so I'm all for it. I don't know why it makes a difference. His bottle of whiskey is going to last a while. I've stopped taking my sleeping tablets, and I must admit I feel a lot better for it, and I am starting to sleep naturally again. I think because I haven't got the stress the same. The only night that I actually did take sleeping tablet was the night that Dave had to take Brendan into the hospital during the night, because I knew I wouldn't sleep. They didn't get back in until, I don't know, 3:30 in the morning, something like that. So that's good. I actually was asleep when they came back in. So we've had a few issues in the house. The heater in the bathroom died. The underfloor heating in the bathroom has made huge difference to the bathroom temperature though. We just leave the bathroom door open all the time now because it's at a constant 20 degrees, so it is so much more comfortable. It doesn't feel like a fridge anymore. The log burner door fell off when I was putting wood on it the other day. I'm not sure how, but it hit my knee. I think I was sitting in front of the log burner at the time. It had nearly gone out, so I was putting wood on it, and it fell off, and it hit my knee. So my knee is all swollen up. Oh dear. So Dave has, I had to yell out to Dave because he was in the paddock next to the house putting the trees in, and I had to yell out to him to come and help me because I couldn't lift the door back on because it was too heavy for me. So I had to laugh over that one. Still not sure how I actually got the door off. He's not sure how I did it either, but I obviously did. So the bathroom heater just died. It's on the wall. So I said to Dave, we've got one of those radiator heaters, like a oil-filled ones, and is a switch in the bathroom as well on the wall. And I said, if we're really worried about it, we could plug that in. But I don't think it's cold enough in there to actually warrant putting a heater in there now, because it has warmed up. Last night it was so hot in here. We have had the ceiling fan going. It was 28 degrees in here, and I didn't get the log burner going until 4:30, something like that, 4:30, because I waited until Dave came in for him to have another look at the log burner to see if he needed to use pliers, because there's something at the top of the door to stop it coming off. It's like on a pin, and I said maybe you need to have a wee look at it to see if it needs to be closed a wee bit more to stop it. So he had a wee look at that, so I didn't light it until he came in. So we went out to the Two Fat Stags. That is just over the hill from us, and so it's quite close. Went out for a meal when my brother was here, and that was actually quite nice. We'd heard that they were really good, but we hadn't been. for once, because I was on antibiotics, I could actually eat. That's the advantage of being on antibiotics. It settled my stomach right down. Hate when I do that. Went to thread the needle and split the thread. This is one thing I'm looking forward to with the 18 count, is I should be able to do the loop start. Not very often I actually do a loop start. All my threads that I haven't been darning in at the moment, and I've just been leaving on top, I will darn them in later. I'm concerned about flipping it over and having it go out of focus and then having to put it all back into focus. So I have had to use the short bar for my Q-snaps because I have my Lowry stand underneath. I've got a sofa and then I've got my recliner chair right next to the sofa, so I just have the base of the Lowry stand underneath the sofa instead of having a weight. And because of my chair right next to the sofa, I just found that if I put the short bar, I was able to use the Q-snap, the 17 by 11, and it fits perfectly. Now that I've gone away from using any Autumnlane frames, I think the only piece there I have got on the Autumnlane frame is my mini absinthe goggles. I think that's the only piece out at the moment I have. I've got a whole bucket full of Autumnlane frames though. I'm not selling them at this stage, but I might later on. At this stage I'm thinking, oh, I may go back to them, I just don't know. Especially the bigger ones, I might decide, look, as I go up to bigger count fabrics, I might go back to them. Who knows? That thread is annoying. Oops, it's pulled the wrong one. There we go. As you can see, I use ball tip needles for everything. I think these are 24. Yes, I'm pretty sure they're 24s. There we go. With it being so sunny like it is today, it feels like spring has arrived, but it hasn't. It's public holiday this week on Friday. It's Matariki Day, and that is when I started my magical arrival last year. That is the piece that I've only done 3 or 4%. And that is the piece that I want to restart. Hopefully the fabric will arrive tomorrow. It may even be in the mailbox today, but I don't think so. I think it should take 2 days from Christchurch to here. I know that Stitch NZ sent the fabric yesterday, so I'll either use the devisa or the linen. So I'll do a test piece first. I think I'll do it with black and decide which I like. It isn't that huge. Just a sec. Let's go have a look. Where are you? Here we go. View PDF. Because it's a retired piece. Hey, it tells me on 18 it will be 23 by 27 inches. It's 300 by 375. What percentage have I done? Oh look, I've done 9.83%. So I have done more than I thought. But that's okay. Does it show me a mock-up? View mock-up. View mock-up. I was just looking at the alternate face. Oh, it has got hair with it. That's interesting. Okay, which one was the stitching? Hate the way that some of them have been named this time, because it just says Dark Queen, Dark Queen. You can probably hear Coco's litter machine in the background. Sorry about that. It is fantastic hearing it though. Were you watching it, Bubby? It was so funny yesterday. We had friends come and see us, and they've got a little dog. It's wee. I presume it's a Jack Russell cross, Foxy, something like that. It's a small dog, and it came running in. And then they told it to get outside, and it was watching Coco from the window, and it was busy barking and jumping and everything else, and Coco was sitting there shaking at the window. And yeah, no, it was very active compared to Coco. Yeah, quite funny. Coco, it was bigger than Coco. Coco wouldn't know what to do with it. It would be a lot more vicious than Coco as well, because it kills cats. So yeah. No. Coco doesn't know what dogs are. Do you, Bubby? I had to buy new nail clippers for her today. I don't know what I've done with her nail clippers, but she definitely needs her nails done. They're actually getting quite long. It's been a couple of weeks. I've put them somewhere. I was hunting for them today, and it's like, yeah, no, they just need to be done, and it's getting frustrating, so I just bought some more. Because she needs my knee every time she sits on my knee, and she's drawn blood, so her nails need to be done. They're actually getting quite sharp, so I actually bought 2 pairs, so one on each seat that she comes and sits on. So hopefully I'll find one of them, because I can't be trusted. I also got her treats that she really likes because they were on special, and I had free postage if I spent so much. It's really funny when you give her, at night she starts circling. It's about 8:30, 9 o'clock. She knows it's treat time, and she just starts circling, and she'll come see me, and then she'll come see Dave, and then she'll jump up next to me, and then she'll have a wee nap. She realises that no, nobody's getting up, and then she'll go and see Dave, and she'll jump at his feet and sit there for a few minutes, and then he doesn't respond, so she'll come back to me, and that's normally when I say, look, you know exactly what she wants. And Dave will get up and give her treats, and it's quite funny. She just sits there and she'll wait. So she always gets 2 lots of treats. She gets a chicken treat and she gets a duck treat. So she waits until she has got both lots of treats, and you've walked away and you've sat down again before she starts eating it. And the reason why she does that is because I have been known to trip over and nearly fall on her. So she stands way back and waits until you've left. So it's all my fault. I don't feel as if I'm too far behind this, considering I haven't actually picked this up for months and months and months. Look, I'm at 73% of this part, and yeah, I don't know which. I wonder if it will tell me. Edit. View PDF. Doesn't tell me that either. This is part 9. There's 11 parts. That's part 10. Maybe. So I don't feel as if I'm that far behind. So this should be a finish for the year, which is really cool. 11 must be the orbs that I really want. I think that's what put me off, is I was thinking, I thought there was a big flower here and I had to frog it, but obviously there wasn't. I misremembered. Does not surprise me. Misspoke, misremembered, the whole 9 yards. Dave's memory is as bad as mine. I hate when he asks me, he goes, do you remember where I put something? It's like the blind leading the blind to tell you. It's like, don't ask me where you put something, because there's no way I'll remember. It's like, we've got a whiteboard for a reason. You're meant to actually write on it. Oh dear. It's the same as he was talking to the stock agent yesterday, and Duncan was here at the time, and then Duncan was talking to the stock agent a few minutes later to say that he was having stock picked up as well, and he was saying that he was having stock picked up at 10:30, and he was saying to Dave, he was talking to the stock agent just a few minutes earlier, and he said, oh, what time are you getting the stock picked up? And he goes, I can't remember. Oh, it was like he was only talking to them 5 minutes earlier. It was like he should have written it down. But Dave thought it was 10:15, but they actually turned up about 10:45, maybe earlier. So I had to laugh. I don't think it really mattered because he was already early for them. He's still getting up early. I think he was up at 6:30 or something. Just about see the kale growing at the moment. It's really deceiving at this time of year because you think it's so nice at the moment, but come August, late August, we can still get snow. And it's always a bit of a shock to the system. So Dave's been talking about buying a crate for his trailer, and it is going to cost him $6,500. It's really hard to justify that, to pick up calves for that you're only going to use once a year. And I was costing it out yesterday. I was saying, this means that it's going to cost an extra you have to get an extra $60 a calf just to pay for your crate that you want to get. I said, it's going to take a while for it to pay for itself, isn't it? But in the end of the day, he's going to have something. The crate that we've got now is too heavy and it's going to cost too much for fuel to keep using it. So I think he's going to have to bite the bullet and actually do it. And it will last for 10, 20 years. I think it just depends on if he's going to keep doing calves for the next 10 or 20 years. So, it's a hard one, that one. It's really hard to find the justification for anything for spending it. And then I said to him at the end of the day, I said, you know, it's the cost of my wheelchair. So if you want it, just get it. It'll make life easier for you. You won't have to lift. You don't want to use the back of his truck because he'd have to lift the stock too high. So, yeah, I think he's just going to have to do it. Sometimes when you start costing things out, it just doesn't work out to be cost effective. But is anything? And he needs to keep busy if he's not going to work full time. Because Duncan's really enjoying him. Is it still focused? Yep. Duncan's really enjoying him going with him to the stock sales and that sort of thing, and doesn't really want him to work. But Dave's still young. Still got a lot of years before he retires. It's a long time before he retires. And it's not like I'm going to go out and work. Well, I think I've just about run out of things to say. I'm sure I've bored you all to tears with my life saga. Feels like a life saga at the moment. The funniest thing is that when I rang up the hospital last week, the eye specialist, to say that Dave had something on and I needed to cancel my eye appointment, they said that they couldn't, that I had to go to it. And then when I said that Brendan was vomiting and I really shouldn't go to it, that was fine. I could cancel it then. Funnily enough, they were quite happy for me not to come when he was vomiting. And actually, when I was talking to them, you could actually hear him vomiting in the background. Even though I was in the bathroom. I'm not even sure he shut the door, actually. But it echoed. Yeah. So, yeah, had to laugh. So I got the new date. And of course, it's on a Tuesday. Dave doesn't want it on a Tuesday. Never mind, it's still on a Tuesday. But I don't have double vision anymore. But even with my glasses, I'm not sure it really helps for driving. I'll rephrase that. I don't feel comfortable driving. So I think I should be a lady of leisure and just let Dave drive. He's quite happy. It used to be the other way around. It used to be that I drive everywhere and he used to be the passenger. Now it's the other way around. So, well, I will let you go and I will edit this. I'm not sure what I'm going to edit into it. Maybe the magical arrival picture, but that is about it. And thank you very much for joining me. I hope you had something to stitch on while you're watching this. Hope I haven't stumbled on my words so much. I must have, but I think I'm a wee bit better in the morning. And I appreciate all the kind words that I had after my last video, so thank you very much for that. And I really appreciate everybody that watches my videos, and I'm really happy with my progress this week, considering I did have a few days that I didn't stitch due to being quite sore after. Wow, my mouth did bleed quite a bit. I couldn't believe how much of a hole it left having my wisdom tooth removed. It's like, wow. It was so funny. So I thought I was being really clever by, I had a glass of salted water in the bathroom, so I could just use it each time I went in the bathroom. I could just rinse my mouth out with the salted water, and then I could use the mouthwash afterwards, because I had to use a disinfectant mouthwash as well. So I thought I was being really clever, so I made a really strong salted water glass full. So I thought, oh, this is really clever. So I did that, so I just do a mouthful each time I went in there until, I think it was day 2 or day 3. So I did boiling water with it to keep it nice and sterile until day 2 or day 3. I had a lump in my salted water, and it's like, what the heck? And I spat it out, and there was a moth in it. And I was going, well, that's not very sterile, is it? So I had to start fresh again. So obviously moths like salt, so I had to laugh over that one. But I don't think I would have an infection in it anyway, because I am on the antibiotics. I don't have many left, to be honest. I don't have many left at all. So thank you very much for joining me. Have a great day, and I'll catch up with you again soon. Thanks. Bye.